So I'm just doing this little intro before the finale of career mode starts, and it's just regarding a quick little vote that I want to put forward to you guys. So if you click on the right hand corner of your, the top right hand corner of your screen, sorry, you'll see that there's a poll in there, and within that poll there's two choices, and it's regarding whether you want my season 2 career mode to be live commentated again, or you want me to change the post commentary. It's entirely up to you. This is the vote that I'm putting forward to you guys. Also for season 2 I'll be bringing in some mods, which I want to bring in myself to try and make things a little bit more interesting, but I won't be over flooding it with mods. It'll still be very basic, but I want to just bring in a couple of small mods to make it a little bit better. But like I said, please do vote in the top right hand corner of the screen, guys, and it will decide the fate of season 2 career mode in regards to whether it's live commentary or post commentary. So that'd be great. Really appreciate if you could vote right now to decide how the videos will be formatted from season 2 onwards. But nevertheless, guys, hopefully you look forward to the finale, and without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Tom and welcome back to a brand new video and the finale of my season 1 career mode, and we're here for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and a track that I actually don't half mind on this game. It's not too bad. It's definitely not one of my favourites, but it's definitely not the worst. And as you can see, we're currently in qualifying. We've absolutely smashed practice, and I'm not going to show practice for now because it's not really important because we've ceased development anyway, so all I'm doing is just putting away R&D points for next season, and we've got just over 1,000 as things stand right now. But as you can see, right now we qualify through Q1 quite comfortably, finishing there in P10, and I've got to say, just off the bat here, the Red Bulls were so fast around here. It happened in the last race in Brazil, but the Red Bulls are just so quick at the moment. It seems like the upgrades have really paid off for them, and their car is working an absolute treat. So they're going to be really hard to beat today. But as you can see, right now we managed to get through into Q3 quite comfortably, finishing the session in P4, because obviously our first lap got us through in P3, but obviously once the session finished, a couple of people improved on their laps, and in the end we qualified in P4 to go to Q3. And speaking of Q3, we're going to jump into that right now, which is the final part of qualifying. As you can see, the night skies have fully just fallen here at Abu Dhabi as we come through the final corner for our one and only qualifying lap here, and the lap's been pretty okay so far, but for some reason it's miles off the pace. We're only 8 tenths off pole, which is quite a considerable amount, and it's only good enough for P5. And eventually when the session ended, we actually finished in P7, 1.5 seconds off the pace. So really didn't know what happened there. As you can see, Ricardo got pole by a whopping 6 tenths of a second, so the Red Bull, like I said, just working absolutely incredibly around here, and I just can't seem to match my teammate, so Kimi getting a really good qualifying position there for himself. But P7, a very disappointing qualifying result, and with that we're going to move to the race, and fingers crossed we can try and get a decent result. Obviously we've already won the championship, so there's not much to play for, but crucially I want to try and finish the season on a high, at least get a top 5, if not a podium. So without further ado, let's jump into the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So here we are then, it's the final race of the season. It's been a great season. It's been 20 hectic races, and let's hope that the 21st is probably the best one out of them all. Obviously, I want to try and end this season on a high, possibly a podium. Qualifying didn't go particularly great, but like I said, it doesn't really matter because I've won the championship. But hopefully we can try and get a result. Obviously, Kimi Raikkonen's on pole position, I believe, or second, I'm not sure. But either way, Kimi is in the front row of the grid, so let's try and maybe aim for him this race and try and beat him. But nevertheless, this is the strategy that we're going to be using this race, and as you can see, it's going to be a 2-stop strategy. We're going to have to do a little bit of stretching out on each end of the stint, but I think we can make it work. So without further ado, I think we're going to jump right into the final race of the 2016 Formula 1 season. Here we go then, 5 red lights for the final time this season as the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix gets underway, and it's lights out and away we go. And that's like actually get a great start off the line. Grosjean getting a terrible start as we go into turn 1 for the first time. Grosjean trying to send one back up my inside, trying to go around the outside. Lewis Hamilton's had a slow start. There's been contact behind, a yellow flag, and someone's going for a spin down the back there, so I think that might trigger a virtual safety car possibly. We'll have to wait and see. And we've actually got a full safety car. Wow, that was close. Jesus, that was very close on Romain Grosjean there. But I think we need to try and plan out a strategy. We've got a safety car in the first lap of the race here, so I think it might be time to get rid of these ultra soft tyres, I think, and maybe go into something a little bit more racy. Okay, so I'm going to serve my first stop of the race. We've got a Red Bull coming in. I'm actually going to overtake Grosjean, and I think that actually might be legal. So yep, I think we've got a legal move on Grosjean there because of the pit stop phase. So that's actually turned out quite nicely there. So we've got past Grosjean, we've got the Red Bull in the pit lane there, which I think Grosjean might just hold up, which might just give us enough to get right on the back of him. A 1.7 stop there. Incredible pit stop from the Ferrari boys, but crucially we're right on the back of the Red Bull here of Daniel Ricciardo, I believe, and we're going to go into the soft tyres here and go nice and long into this race on this set of tyres, and let's see how long we can make it work. In practice, his tyre felt pretty nice, so if we can just drag this out and make it a pretty long tyre, then I think this could be a good strategy for us. We've just come out behind Sainz but ahead of Haryanto. So P15, not too bad. Ideally, I think we're going to try and start this tyre as long as possible and then switch over to a super soft to go to the end. Okay, so the safety car's coming in this lap. Everyone's stacking up, as you can see, and we're going to be going green very soon here to go racing again at Abu Dhabi. Just waiting for the green flag, and here we go. Back again racing here under the night skies of Abu Dhabi. And as you can see, plenty of cars falling into the pit lane who didn't decide to pit under the safety car period. So now we're going to gain a few positions, and we're in rich mix at the moment because of the amount of fuel that we save. So let's try and push here and make up a few positions on the restart and try and do what Ricardo's doing and just try and get past a few cars, which we should be able to do through here as we get a great run going around the outside of Sainz. Can we pull this off? Yes, we can. Fantastic move on the Spaniard there. And can we get past Jenson Button, who's arguably in his last race in Formula 1 because he won't be in the sport no more in 2017, as we're actually going to go for a dive here up the inside of the hairpin. Can we make a move here on JB? It's going to be tight. He's actually got better grip than us and better traction on those super softs, but we should be able to out-drag him in rich mix down this back straight here, side by side with Jenson Button here on the back straight. 3 wide up ahead as well with the Sauber and Ricardo. So it's all kicking off here in Abu Dhabi as we slow it down for the braking point. Bit of contact up ahead and also contact with Jenson Button, and Button's really being fast here with us and not letting this move go easily, but we are going to get the traction on the exit. There we go, putting the power down and eventually getting past Jenson Button there. Right, here we are all over the back of Felipe Nasr. Can we make some sort of move here, possibly coming out of the final corner? We can pick up some traction. No, we can't. Nasr actually getting some pretty decent traction there on the exit of turn 1. Meanwhile, we're getting ourselves up in the P9 now as we've got a couple of cars in the pit lane, including my teammate. Nasr runs out really wide through there, which allows me to slip up the inside, forcing a mistake there from the Brazilian, and we're up into P8, and we can now chase after Fernando Alonso. Here we go, it's all kicking off up ahead. Ricardo and Perez going at it quite fastly, actually, getting in some pretty intense scraps, and that's going to allow me to get right on the back of Fernando Alonso here. Can we try and pull off a move on a Spaniard anytime soon? We're going to let this sort of battle play out a little bit and try and set ourselves up for maybe a little bit of a sneaky move up the inside in some place where they might not expect it. However, Ricardo has got past Perez now, so it should be fairly easy for everyone to sort of maintain their position, but I'm expecting more people in the pit lane, and that's indeed the case as we've got a couple of cars diving in, including Fernando Alonso, and that's going to promote us even higher up the grid as we try to chase down Sergio Perez here. And we're up into P6 now with DRS enabled for the first time this race. Can we try and get past Perez at the first time of asking here? Well, I've had an absolutely beautiful exit out the hairpin, and we're going to open up the rear flap for the first time this race and make a move on Sergio Perez. He goes defensive, but it's no use. I'm so much faster in a straight line, and that is us up into P5 now. So a nice easy overtake there on the Mexican. So Gutierrez pulls off into the pit lane, which means that puts Ricardo in the lead and me in P2. However, I'm really struggling on these tyres already, and the rears are going really quickly around here. As you can see, I'm losing the back end, and look at that, the rears are just really poor, and Kimi's already pit for a second time this race, so this could be a very long race for pit stops. There could be quite a few here. Right, here we go then. I'm going to pit in for my second stop of the race, and these soft tyres are just not nice whatsoever. They're just an absolute handful, and actually I think Perez and Ricardo have got the exact same idea as me, because they're just not working at all. It's really hard to get them in the zone, and they're only good for a couple laps, and they weren't even that good anyway. Just really slippy, and the wheel spin was unbearable basically. Hopefully the super soft is a bit of a better race tyre, because that soft was just horrible. Here we go, all over the back of Danny Kvyat. Got so much grip on these super soft tyres. Instantly feel way better than the soft tyres. I'm actually going to try and go around the outside here. Kvyat's going to give me a squeeze, but I'm going to pull it off around the outside. What a move so far. That was absolutely incredible to watch. I don't know what it is this weekend, but there is just zero performance in the car, and I'm really struggling to find any sort of pace. And right now, the tyres are getting chewed through this Grand Prix. As you can see, my tyres are absolutely gone. I'm coming in now, and I'm actually going to go back onto a set of softs, because that's a set that I think will get me to the end just about. But I'm really struggling to get any sort of tyre distance out of my tyres. So I'm just going to go into a set of softs, and hopefully this will be enough to get me to the end. But I've not enjoyed this race one bit. The car's just been horrible to drive. There's been no pace in the car whatsoever, and I'm struggling to even keep my tyres alive. So it's just one of them ones where I just wanted to end, to be honest with you. But hopefully we can still try and maybe get a top 5, or at least finish higher up than where we qualified. Oh, great. Oh, lovely. Okay, so let's just pit again then. Great. Okay, hopefully this time I get put onto a fresh set tyres, and this will hopefully be my last stop of the race, because that just now was just basically taking the piss. So hopefully we can have a fresh set of super soft tyres, please. That'd be lovely, and we can just go to the end of these. That'd be the ideal situation. And so far we're going to drop down, I think, out of the top 10 by the look of it. Kimi's going to come past us any second now, so we're down to P9 for the time being, and I think it could be P10 by the time Grosjean comes past. Sorry, Hulkenberg comes past. We're going to try and exit the pit lane here as fast as we can, but yet Grosjean's, Hulkenberg's got us, so P10 it is. Let's see what we can do from this position, and try and pick up any sort of points for the rest of this race. Oh, Magnussen's out of the race. Could that trigger some sort of safety car, please? Or a virtual safety car? That would be pretty nice. And it looks like we're not going to get anything. So, oh wait, there we go. Virtual safety car. Lovely. So, this is going to hopefully help us out a little bit. So, fingers crossed, if I can just save some fuel and just be nice and easy on my tyres during this phase. Hopefully that'll give us a little bit more time on these tyres to try and take them to the end. And at the same time, save a nice bit of fuel. Okay, so the VSC's ending. I'm actually going to go against the rules here. This should be legal. There we go. Managed to break the delta time because the flag goes green, so therefore you can actually get a little bit closer to the car ahead. Little tip for you guys. But on the back of Hulkenberg, I'm actually going to launch one up the inside here and make the most of my fresh tyres. As you can see, picking up a nice bit of grip on the inside there. I'm going to try and squeeze Hulkenberg out, but he's having absolutely none of it. And look at the acceleration, and that falls in there. Jesus, I'm going to have to pick up some DRS here to try and get past him because he's so fast in a straight line. Okay, there we go. Let's try and make a move this time. Nice bit of straight line speed. Squeeze him to the inside a bit. Get him on the brakes, on the fresh tyres. And a little bit of corner cut there. But there we go. We've got the move done up into P9. And up next is our teammate. Let's try and hunt him down and try and at least finish ahead of our teammate in the last race of the season. And here we go then, through the hotel section for the final time. It's been a very, very disappointing final race. My tyres have actually hit the cliff, so I'm just coasting home in lead mix. And as you can see, Grosjean's actually catching me, but luckily it is the last lap. Ricciardo's won the race. He was so quick here today, and Red Bull could be a team to watch out for next season. But here we go, through the final corner, and the 2016 season is done and dusted and in the record books for the youngest world champion in F1 history. And overall, I don't understand why I'm celebrating. That's a very disappointing race, and P8 is definitely one of my worst performances of the season. But nevertheless, today really didn't matter, and crucially, we really wrapped up the championship in Brazil. But either way, we would have wrapped it up at this race anyway if we'd finished as we did anyway. So overall, the fair winner was Ricciardo. He put an absolutely stellar performance, and we could only manage P8, and Raikkonen could only manage P7. So it just goes to show that Ferrari just didn't really work around here. The car was just horrible to drive, and I was trying to catch Raikkonen, but those last 2 laps my tyres just went, and I just didn't have enough tyres. I should have gone a bit more harder on the tyre selection. I went for balanced actually, but I probably should have gone for the hardest available, and I'll bear that in mind next time I come back to this track. But overall, it's been an okay race, nothing spectacular, but crucially we take away the good memories from this season, and that was the World Championship and the many victories, and of course a switch from Haas to my dream team Ferrari. And hopefully there's many more good things to come for season 2, because I do believe we're not going to have any sort of team offers, so we're going to be in Ferrari for season 2. So hope you guys look forward to that, and if you are, then please do smash the like button, and if you're new around here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. But as you can see, Raikkonen there just finished ahead of me in P7 with Ricciardo winning the race for Red Bull, and it's going to be interesting next season. I definitely cannot tell what's going to happen. Will Haas still be sort of at the top? Will Red Bull be the team to beat? Will Mercedes, have they sort of dropped off quite a lot towards the end of the season? Have they ceased development very early to try and push hard next year? Will we bounce back? Well, that's all a bit of an open question at the moment, and you have to tune in at some point this week for the start of season 2. But I hope you guys did enjoy this episode, and we're going to look at the Drivers' Championship for one last time this season. And as you can see, we win the championship by 36 points, all said and done. And when the dust has settled, 36 points is the difference between myself and Lewis Hamilton there. And finally, looking at constructors, Mercedes won by a convincing 62 points over Scuderia Ferrari. And that is the end of the season, guys, and hopefully you did enjoy it. And then we're now going to move on to the final part of the video to see if we get any sort of contract offer or anything whatsoever. So let's jump into that right now. So there we have it then, guys. That was season 1, an incredible season, and a very disappointing final race to really round things off. But overall, I think it's a very successful season, and my first season to win the World Championship. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and if you did, then a like would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you could subscribe to my channel for future content like this, and also much more different, varied content in the near future, would also be fantastic. So as you can see right now, just a little bit of an end screen, because I want to talk to you guys a little bit and just say a massive thank you for your support for the entirety of season 1, and I'll be back with season 2 very soon. soon. Like I said, it's imperative that you vote in the top right hand corner of your screen to see how the season 2 videos will be structured, because otherwise I can't record until you guys have voted. So I need to know what I'm going to be recording like, whether it's going to be live commentated or post commentated. So if you can vote in the top right hand corner, once again, I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah guys, that's about for this video, and hopefully you did enjoy season 1 career mode. There's a link to the playlist down below if you missed any of the episodes. There's also links in the description down below to my social media, including my Twitter, which is really important that you go follow me on there at Tom97HD. I greatly recommend you follow me, because I always tweet about YouTube and just the videos I'm putting out and what things I'm getting up to in life. And also it's just great because there's loads of other YouTube creators on there. So if you're not on Twitter already, I do recommend you go get on there. But nevertheless guys, I'm not going to ramble on for much longer, and hopefully you enjoyed the video, and thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for the entire support on season 1. It was absolutely incredible, and I will see you once again in season 2 in a couple of days time. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.